Hi guys, another Vapor House video here today. I'm going to explain to you the CE4, CE5, made by Aspire, how to replace coils, and little differences about each individual tank. So we'll start off with our CE4 tank. Usually this is what a starter kit comes with. It's your basic tank. We have a single coil, we have your exposed wicks here in the tank. Everything is done from the top, so we'll unscrew this mouthpiece here. As you can see, it's got the threading, and then it's got a nice gasket in there to keep that juice in. So then we have the inside here. We have that middle tube, which has the coil inside of that. That's what these wicks are going through and making that connection. As you can see, these wicks are exposed, and they're a single coil. These tanks usually last about 2 to 3 weeks depending on your vaping. If you find yourself vaping a lot more, these tanks are going to have a shorter lifespan. These are throwaway tanks. You can't change the coil out of them. So once you get that burnt taste, you end up throwing this away. So you would put the juice in there on the side. Go ahead and pop the drip tip back on there, just nice and snug. And as we say, when the juice is in there, take 5 dry hits before putting it on the tank. That helps get a nice juice up into that coil so it's ready to fire up. A lot of people just throw the juice in there. Don't take any dry hits off of it first. They just light it up, they put it on the battery right away. In that time, the juice did not have enough time to get up into that tube in the center and up into that coil. So if that coil in there is still dry and you put it on your battery and you go ahead and light it up, you're going to burn out that coil, you're going to burn out that wick, and all you're going to taste is a burnt taste. And a lot of people happens to because they're not told the proper way to prime it up and get a good vape out of it. Now, like I said, this is a throwaway tank, so after a couple, 2 to 3 weeks, depending on your vaping, you're going to get, one day you'll get that burnt taste, so you won't have that Mountain Dew flavor anymore, you'll have a burnt toast. So, like I said, these are tanks you would take, throw away, purchase another one. Or, we have our Aspire CE5 line. So we have your CE5, which is a all-plastic tank, bottom dual coil. We have your CE5S, which is a same thing as your CE5, but instead of a all plastic body, it is a metallic body on that, and it does have 2 little windows here on the side for your to see through to fill up your juice and see how much juice you have left. Great tank. And then we have your Aspire ETSs. Now these are great tanks too. This one is all nice chrome, and then we have glass on the inside instead of a plastic. So I'll break it down real quick. With our CE5, we have your tank, which also has that center tube, and then we have your bottom, your base, and then you have your coil. Now, as I was showing you with the CE4 tank, you have those exposed coils, and you can see them. With the Aspire CE5 series, those coils are actually inside this little cylinder, and there's 2 of them. One going one direction, one going the other direction. Then we have your 2 holes here for the juice to suck into. It has a nice little gasket on the outside, so when you replace your coils, it's a nice little gasket. Now with your Aspire coils, these will last you 3 to 4 weeks, depending on your vaping and how much juice you go through. But usually at that time it takes about 3 to 4 weeks, and then you'll probably get that burnt taste again. So instead of throwing away this whole entire tank when you get that burnt taste, you just have to replace your coil. And Aspire does make replacement coils here. They usually come in 5-packs. They come in different ohms, 1.8, 2.1s, and even 1.6 ohm coils. All in dual coil action, and it's easy to replace. Get yourself a pack, pop one out, you got yourself a new coil. So we would pop that in, take out the old coil, pop the new coil in. Here's another little thing too. Once you get that burnt taste in your CE5, that juice in there is tainted. So we recommend to empty out your tank, use a little bit of hot water, run that through there, let it air dry it out, and then you're ready for the juice. And the same thing with your Aspire S tank, the same thing. Everything's done from the bottom. Pop that out. You got your coils right there. That pops out also. So just like your CE5, pop a new one in, pop it on. And then we have your Aspire ETS. These are great tanks. Great tanks. Why? Because on the inside is that glass. So you could put higher acidic juices into your Aspire ETS, and it will not melt the plastic, it won't crack the plastic, because there is no plastic. It's all glass in there. Also nice too, this also takes the same coils as your CE5S and your standard CE5 tank. So I could take this coil, pop it in here, or pop it in here. That's the great thing about the Aspire line. Universal coils, everything's universal fitting. So with this one, pop the coil back into the base. Go ahead, pop my sleeve on there, and then pop the juice on in there, fill her up, pop your mouthpiece on there / bell housing. I always say just do it snug and you're all ready to go. So that's your Aspire ETS tank. It's a great tank. We have your Aspire S tank, and then we have your CE5 plastic tanks. So that's a little rundown on the differences on your Aspire line CE5S's and your regular CE4 tank.